morning, everyone. Leah Dixon here from Port Coquitlam, British Columbia. Sorry I'm popping on a few minutes late. It's been a couple weeks since I've done a video, and I forgot how much there was to do to get the cameras set up and everything. So I am here though, and I'm super excited to be sharing with you some other Sale-a-bration items, the Fruit Salad DSP specifically. So I'm going to switch over to my desktop and I'm going to show you this DSP pack, and then we're going to get started crafting. Good morning, Kim. So normally I would do this as a weekly card class to go. However, this week I'm just not sure. I'm not kind of used to being up and about and doing stuff. So, what does this say? It's lost connection to my camera. Oh no, of course. Why would it have lost connection to my camera? Any other Zoom type things? I don't think I have anything else Zoom-like on. That's so weird. All right, so I may have to restart this video. We'll see. I'm just going to close up a bunch of browsers here and see if that makes a difference. And see if that allows us to reconnect. All right, so everything's closed and it is still, you can click the camera button to try again. Let's try this. I am not sure why this is happening. All right, let's see. Settings, camera. And it looks like my camera is back on, although I don't see a difference on the screen. Let's just give it a moment to see if it will reconnect. Can you guys let me know if you can see my image yet, or if it's still just black for you guys as well? Interesting. Okay, well, let's see. I am going to, it looks like the sound is still happening, so still not yet, still black, but you can hear me. Okay, well then I'm just going to switch over to my desktop, and as long as you guys can hear me, you don't need to see me. You can see my desk. Perfect. Okay, so we'll just go with it. Not sure why my computer did that. Maybe it's feeling neglected. It's getting mad at me. All right, so this is one of our free Sale-a-bration papers. It's called Fruit Salad. And so what I love about this is one side is just patterns, and then the other side are fruits. Therefore, the Fruit Salad name. Oh, yeah, thank you, Evelyn. I'm so glad I have the chance to go live again today as well. It's the first day I've kind of felt normal again since my surgery. So this one's my favorite, with the yellow and the little like eyelets and everything. And then the other side is some gorgeous pears. And then we've got, I love this one, the two-sided watermelon happening there. We've got some pineapple, and then the other side is the full pineapple, the inside of the orange, and then the other side is just like a nice orange splatter. We've got some cantaloupe, and then the fun broken up bits, some oranges, and then the outside of the orange, nice little rose pattern with the apples on the other side, some nice little yellow lines with our bananas on the other side, some green dots with some kiwis. This one I love as well, the pool party little dots with the total fruit salad on the other side. And then some little green carrots with a real fruit salad again. And I think that's it. Those are just the ones I've been playing with. So I just wanted to show you that these cards are great because you can do, or not cards, this DSP is super cute, Kim. It's like one of my favorite Sale-a-bration items, and I didn't think it was going to be. This is really fun because you can play with it and cut out the fruit pieces. I think I have, oh, I do, good. I have a card that I created a couple weeks ago now, where I actually went in and like fussy cut out pieces of the fruit and then used some DSP for the side strips. So this was a really fun card to make, but a lot of work. I'm going to show you today how I'm just going to use the paper, not really too much fussy cutting, and I'm going to pair it up with my favorite mini catalog stamp set, which is With You in Mind. So this one has beautiful sentiments. I love the font on this one. And then just a few little key kind of images that you can use for decorating. So we're going to use this with our Fruit Salad DSP to make just some really simple cards today. No crazy fussy cutting. Well, a little bit of fussy cutting, but nothing too insane. All right, so I'm going to put this off to the side. I do have to apologize. I don't have anything really prepped, just some ideas in mind, because I've been just resting. Oh, you finished your reno now, Kim. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So I am going to take, this is one of those apple pieces. So I'm going to take the apple piece. I don't really see myself, even though I'm a teacher, I don't really see myself using that apple image on the other side. And I'm actually going to cut this at 3 inches. This is kind of showing you my energy level. I'm not even getting up to use my guillotine cutter that I always use. I'm just not really feeling up to that much movement just yet. And then I cut that at 5.5. So this is 3 by 5.5, and then I'm going to come back in and cut it down at 1.5. So now I've got 2 pieces of DSP, and I am going to, oh yes, I have been doing nothing but laying in bed and reading. It has been absolutely heavenly, but I have gotten to the point where I'm getting a little bit bored. So I thought, well, let's get out of bed and do something today. This is my only plan for the day, is this little video and then rest again. So I'm going to take these 2 pieces of DSP and I'm going to glue them straight down to, now I chose a piece of Pool Party here, but I feel like maybe, let's just see what this would look like. Ooh, that's a tough call. Yeah, no, I'm going to keep it with the Pool Party. Okay, so I'm going to glue these straight down to my Pool Party card base. And so I'm just putting some liquid glue on the back. Now, when I glue these down, I do want them pretty much centered with a tiny gap between the 2. So there we go. And then we'll glue down our next one. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of reading done. I finished up a whole book series, and I started reading Remarkably Bright Creatures, which is just the sweetest little novel, with an octopus actually as one of the main characters. Just such a nice read. And then I have a whole series still waiting beside my bed. I've been, I picked up at Christmas time with a gift card. I picked up Before the Coffee Gets Cold. It's a 5-book series. And so I'm excited to get started on that. All right. So with those 2 pieces of DSP glued down, I'm actually going to grab my bone folder and just put that down a little bit better. There we go. All right, and now I am going to grab a sentiment. Now, I had originally thought about making this a birthday card, but this is feeling a little bit more subdued than a birthday card. So I think I'm going to do Thinking of You and use our little flower here. So I am going to grab my Thinking of You. There we go. Thinking of You, and put that onto a block. Beautiful. All right, now I have got some scraps here. I was playing around and have some scraps on my desk. So I'm just going to use this. I'm just going to double check. I was wanting to use a die set that I seem to have misplaced now. Oh, there it is. I was wanting to use the Nested Essentials dies. The book with the octopus was called Remarkably Bright Creatures by, I think it's Sandra Van Pelt. It was like a #1 bestseller last year. It is set on the Northwest Coast here, but down Washington State. And it's about a giant Pacific octopus with quite the personality. And it's just a really, really lovely book. I'm happy to lend it to you, Kim, when I'm done. And yeah, so, all right, so I just wanted to make sure that this die from the Nested Essentials was going to fit on my scrap piece of paper. And we're going to stamp it, I think, let me double check what red that is. Coastal Cabana, Daffodil Delight, Early Espresso, Garden Green, Granny Apple Green, Pecan Pie, Petal Pink, Pumpkin Pie, and Real Red. Okay. Feel like Real Red might be a little too intense for this card. So let's go Coastal Cabana for our stamping. And then we're going to do some fun colors for the Dalai Lama's cat. Oh, I've never heard of that one. Oh, good. I got a Kindle a while back. I haven't used it too much, but I'm thinking that my next few books I'm going to try to get on the Kindle. So I might have to check that out, the Dalai Lama's cat. I know you guys only see me stamping, but my actual biggest thing that I love to do is read, whether it's curled up on the couch under a blanket or, oh, that did not work out well. Or my preferred is on a sunny day in my hammock in the backyard. I absolutely love to read. All right, let's try that again and hope that that was inked a bit better. That's a bit better. Okay, so that was Coastal Cabana that I used for the Thinking of You. And now we're going to run this through. Let's hope this fits through I can make it fit through my mini machine because I don't want to get up. All right, let's grab my mini machine. Let's turn it this way. Grab my plates. Is that going to fit? It's going to fit. Beautiful. Okay. Grab my little die. There we go. All right, that looks straight. Excellent. Yeah, it's funny. In my whole household, my kids all loved to read when they were little. And slowly as they've become teens and young adults, that joy has disappeared from them, which is so sad to me. But I'm hoping they'll get it back again someday. All right. So yeah, my sister and I and my dad were the ones who read. All right. So I've got my Thinking of You. And, oh, I should have checked to make sure the die I was using would fit on my card. It just fits, but it's just a tad bit long. So I'm actually going to show you guys a little trick. So I'm going to bring my machine back out. I'm going to go get that die again because I don't think that this sentiment is going to fit in the smaller die. Oh yeah, I know. I much prefer to read in the evenings than watch TV. My TV watching tends to be like a way to connect with the kids as opposed to something I do for me. All right, so this is just a little bit longer than I wanted it to be. So I'm actually going to come in and, oh, I might not be able to do it Oh, you know what? I can do it just with a different shaped die. There we go. Let's grab one of the other dies from in here. Oh, that's got a different cut to it though. Darn it. Okay. So I might have to go get my bigger machine, because what I want to do is actually take this die and pop it. I'm going to pop it in like this so that it's just going to cut this portion. So I actually can't carry my other machine here. I'm not allowed to lift things that heavy. So I'm going to run over to my other machine, but basically this is how I'm going to put it through. Is I'm going to line it up so that my straight edge is going across there, this side's out, and when I roll it in, I'm going to roll it just to cut that and then roll it back out. But yeah, unfortunately, I'm restricted in what I'm allowed to lift right now, so I won't be able to bring my big machine over to show you. So I'll be right back, and I'm going to go do that on the bigger machine. So you want to make sure that that edge is straight and your whole die is on the platform. Well, here, I can't bring the whole machine over, but I'll bring over the one piece just to show you. So that's what it looks like on my cutting mat right now, is the whole die is on the mat. And, oh, that's not very straight. Let's straighten that out. There we go. And then that spacing is straight. I'm going to do it to this end and to the other end. Remember, don't roll it all the way through, otherwise you'll get a weird wrinkle in your piece. There we go. All right, and there's our new piece that is now the size that we would like it to be. So that was just a little bit of a tip on how you can use your dies to get exactly what you need, because I totally forgot to check that that would fit across my card. All right, now that is fitting much better across my card. All right, really like that. So I've got that. I'm going to attach this sentiment now with some dimensionals. And then I'm going to use the flower images in the stamp set to add some little pieces. Now, if you didn't want to add flowers to this, you could totally go in and like flip your remaining DSP over and like fussy cut some apples or some other fruits that go with this. But I actually love that this particular DSP, although it's the Fruit Salad DSP, can be used like completely differently. All right, so I think I'm going to grab another scrap paper here and some flowers. Oops. And let's get a little block for this. All right, well, that's a little bit bigger than I'd want, but whatever. That's going to work. And then I'm actually going to grab my color wheel and use it to help me pick a color to make my flowers, because I don't want them to be red or Coastal Cabana. So I'm actually going to come in here and find, I've got my Real Red, my Coastal Cabana, and it is telling me to add in a Lemon Lolly or a Daffodil Delight to use as my triadic for like color composition. And so this is where our color wheel is really, really handy. So I'm actually going to stamp a couple of Daffodil Delight flowers, and I might even throw in some Lemon Lollies, get some variety going there, and we'll add those onto our card front. So I'm going to stamp them on here. I'm going to start with my lemon lolly and see if it's bright enough or dark enough, and then we'll move on from there. The reason I'm starting with my lemon lolly also is because I don't have to clean my stamp if I don't like it. So that seems just a little bit bright to me. I think our Daffodil Delight will be a little bit more subtle. So I'm just going to flip that over. Don't even need to clean this up. So this is going to be just a little bit darker, a little bit more in line with the color scheme that we're going for. So I think I'm going to do 3 of these, and then we will embellish the centers with some kind of gem. And there we go. So 3 of those little flowers. Now the unfortunate part of this stamp set is that there are no dies. So if we want these cut out, we are going to have to do it ourselves. Just a little bit of fussy cutting here. Now, the biggest thing to remember when you are fussy cutting is turn your paper, not your scissors. Okay, if you're trying to turn your scissors, you're going to get jagged edges, you're going to get frustrated, you could even potentially tear your paper. And now with this one, you can go in as deep as you want and really fussy cut these, or you can just kind of skim around the outside edge and not be so fussy about your cutting. I am going to be a little bit fussy about it, so it's going to take me just a few more minutes. But while I'm doing this, I'll just let you guys know that Sale-a-bration is still on until February 28th. This Fruit Salad DSP that I'm using today is just one of many items that are available as our Sale-a-bration offering. There's ribbons and sequins, embossing folders, stamp sets, so many different DSPs, just some great stuff. So this is, my video says it's week 6. There was actually no week 5 video. I just was not well enough yet to pop on and do a week 5. But if you go back in my YouTube, you can find weeks 1 through 4 that all feature different Sale-a-bration items, including a kit. I actually really love this year. They went ahead and put a kit into our offering. It's a no stamp kit, so it's perfect for beginners. And it's actually the one item that I have gotten the most of in terms of free rewards. I think I've ordered, I don't know, too many of them, because they are a wonderful gift for a teen. Actually, probably even for somebody as young as 8 or 9. They're easy to put together. They're super cute little rainbows, sentiments in 4 different languages, which I'm super excited about because I've kept those sentiments and I'm going to use them on other cards. So that I can have a little bit of an offering in other languages. Where I live, French is often a requested language. I'm very close to Millardville, and there's many people who are native French speakers there. So I'm very excited to be able to have some French language offerings. And then I believe the other 2 languages are German and Dutch. Oh, yes. And then when they did the Sale-a-bration, like additional Sale-a-bration items they added in the plant kit, those 4 little framed photos are so adorable. I'd forgotten about the add-ons. Right. Oh, and they added in the Night of Navy glitter ribbon, one of my favorite ribbons at Christmas time. And the brushed brass butterflies. So good. Oh, you love a scan and cut. You know what? I'm so awful about technology. Anything that has to plug in, I'm like really, with the exception of my heat tool, I'm like so non-techy in my stamp room. It's crazy. But you're right. A scan and cut would make this so fast and simple, and probably save my hands a lot. I have fussy cut sometimes, so like for so long and so much that like my hands were cramped and I couldn't even open them up. Scan and cut would be fantastic, especially for cutting out of the DSP and stuff. Ooh, maybe that's on my next Christmas wish list. Because yeah, my hands get a little bit sore doing this nowadays. All right. But there's something actually, I used to hate fussy cutting. I actually find it really relaxing now. I think because I used to try to rush it. And now that I just accept that it's going to take a little bit of time and I go slow, it's quite lovely. All right, there we go. So I've got my 3 flowers fussy cut. That didn't take too long. All right, and then I think I'm going to, I was thinking I was going to put one, maybe we'll do like that. Aha, there we go. So you just kind of got to play around with how they're going to fall around the words. So I'm going to attach them to my card in that kind of a configuration. I'm going to use dimensionals again to do that. There they are. So when I place my dimensionals, I don't want it to go on top of my sentiment label. So I'm actually going to tuck it slightly under, peel it off, and then put my flower over top of the dimensional. Like that. That way, for sure, nothing gets overlapped and weird. All right, and then the same thing up here. Let's do this one first. So I'm just going to kind of tuck that. And that one goes there. And then tuck that. There we go. And, oh, wow. Cut out letters on vinyl and then use the negative side and use glass etching. Oh, wow. What a great idea, Kim. You're such a crafty person. I love it. All right. So now that I've got my flowers attached to my card front, the last thing we're going to do here is just add in our little centers for our flowers. So, of course, we have so many different options available to us. I am thinking, though, we've got enough color on this card, excuse me, that I think we're going to try to keep it a little bit plain. And I'm going to grab, if I have any left, oh, please do. Oh, I do. Good. I'm going to grab one of my favorite subtle embellishments, which is the iridescent pearls. So they're just pearls, but they have just the tiniest little bit of iridescence to them. So they're just a little bit fancier than a standard white pearl. Let's see. Is that big enough? Oh, it is. Good. Perfect. And we're just going to pop that into the center of each of our flowers. A copycat. That's okay. It's called casing. Copy and steal everything. So, all right, there we go. And that is our first card for today done with that really awesome fruit salad paper. So, wow, half an hour to do one card. I am slow today. We might not get 3 cards done before I run out of steam here, but we're going to give it a shot. That is my first one. And then, of course, you can put like a white liner inside and stamp some more flowers and, have some fun with it. And yeah, just enjoy your little card. So that's just a sweet little thinking of you card. I know actually exactly who I am sending this one to. I am not my only friend who is going through some medical stuff right now. And so I've got some friends to send that off to. All right, now I have put down a little piece of paper. Okay, awesome. So our next card that we're going to give a shot here is, let me just grab my DSP. Excuse me. Thank you so much, Evelyn. All right, the next one that we're going to do here is one of my favorite ways to actually use some DSP, and it's just to simply do like a strip down one side. So I was thinking for this one, it would be kind of fun to do, where is it? Ah, there we go. To do the watermelon, because this one, you've got the two parts of the watermelon. Oh, I'm so glad you like the cards. Well, I've got enough of them, Kim. I gotta send cards if I'm gonna make cards, right? All right, so this designer series paper I just think is super duper fun because it is like it's the watermelon on both sides when you work it together. All right, so this card, I'm just going to grab a white card base. Oh, don't use your thumb. I'm so bad at using my thumbnails to close cards, and then I end up with torn thumbnails and all wrecked fingers and everything. And it's really, really bad. All right, so what I'm going to do with this paper is I'm actually going to cut it at, I think, 3 inches. That's going to allow me to get 2 cards out of this. Oh, I know, so many people are sick. So, all right, I'm going to cut this at 3. Now, it is important which direction you cut this. I want my seeds like going up and down. So that's what I want there. So I've cut this at 3. I will actually be able to use this other piece to do a second card, but I'm not fast today, so I won't be doing 2 at once. And then I'm going to cut this at 5.5 because that's how tall a standard card is. And then I am actually going to score this at 1/2 inch. Okay, so now this is important. Don't use your cutting blade. Now, I am not the best at using this scoring blade because I typically use my Simply Scored machine. But let's see, I think that was done well enough. Oh no, the shingles are the worst. And you know, it's interesting, Kim, shingles can be brought on by stress of any kind. My dad, when they were first retired, they traveled from Edmonton to San Diego, and he got the shingles. He's like, what could I possibly be stressed about? Like, I'm retired. And the doctor said it was the temperature difference. They went from like -25 to +25 in a day because they flew. And he said the physical stress of the temperature change did it. Isn't that wild? All right. So I was thinking I was going to do this on a white card base, but now that I'm looking at this, I really don't think I want it on a white card base. So I'm going to pop over, and this is garden green. I'm going to go grab a garden green card base, and then we'll just do a white insert for the inside. So just give me a moment. Okay. So I've got a piece of garden green cardstock. I'm just going to score the whole thing at 4 1/4 and then cut it in half at 5.5, and that's going to give me 2 card bases. So later on, I'll be able to come back and make that second card. All right, so there we have it. Now we'll be able to glue that on just like that, and then we'll work the rest of our card. And I think I might actually glue it just a little bit over, so I've got a little bit of a green border on the other side as well. All right, so with that, like that, I'm going to actually use, I don't use this a lot. Oh, and I might not use it because it's upstairs. Okay, I'm going to use Terran tape to seal this flap. Liquid glue would totally work. However, Terran tape just gives me a faster bond that I know will hold. Or Seal Plus is what I was actually going to use, but I've got it upstairs. I've been doing a little bit of crafting on my bed. So I've got a little kit up there. All right, so I've got that tear and tape there on the edge, fold that over. And now this piece I will adhere with liquid glue like I would normally do. Oh, I'm so glad you've got your card in your windowsill as well, Evelyn. That's awesome. Yeah, I love making cards, but my favorite is sending them to people and hearing their reactions and stuff. And I was so surprised but thrilled at Christmas time. I was over at my aunt's place, and when I went into her kitchen, she had her her blinds down on their patio door and Christmas cards covering it. And when I got closer, I saw that they aren't all Christmas cards from this year. They were all Christmas cards from me over like the past 20 years. And she can't bear to get rid of them, so she keeps them and puts them out year after year like a regular Christmas decoration. And I just thought that was so sweet. All right, so I think we're going to make this one into a little thank you card. And then we're going to add maybe some hearts. How about some hearts? All right, so let's grab this. So our thank you here. I need a little block for that. Let's see, will it fit this block? Not quite. So we'll use one bigger. We'll use our paper pumpkin size. All right. Now for this thank you, I think we're going to do this on white again. And this time I am going to use the real red. Maybe it should be black, because if I'm going to add hearts in red. You know what? We're going to do this in black. So I'm going to show you guys my black. I don't know if I've shown you this before. I know lots of people are doing this kind of thing. So this is actually the empty ink pad that you get when you buy the white pigment ink. But instead of inking it up with my white pigment ink, I used my Memento black ink refill on here and filled it in. This just allows, like, when you really need a good solid look to your black ink, that pad is just a little bit better than the Memento black pad for really allowing that solid look. So I've got that thank you there in a really nice Memento black. And then I'm going to grab a punch. Oh, so I was going to use this punch because it's one of my favorites, but something tells me that I should use my modern oval just because it's so watermelon-y. Oh, I love giving cards as a gift. In fact, for years and years, I gave cards as gifts to my mom and my mother-in-law. And one year I decided not to, because I thought, oh, they must be sick of this. Like, every year they know what they're getting from me. So I didn't give them a box of cards. And both of them told me after Christmas how disappointed they were that they didn't get their box of cards. So I've never made that mistake again. All right, so that's the modern oval punch that I just used for that thank you. Now, if this wasn't a watermelon card, I probably would have gone ahead and used the heartfelt hexagon, but I do really like this idea of the watermelon. Now, just to kind of bring out that watermelon-y idea a little bit more, I'm going to grab a sponge dauber. Now, I keep my sponge daubers in a lipstick tube case, and then on the bottom, which I can't show you because I'd make a giant mess if I flip this over, on the bottom I have little color dots. Yeah, I feel like the one I want is out though. Let's just just threw that across the room. I feel like that's the one I want and it wasn't put away. Yeah, that is the one I want. All right. So I'm going to grab my garden green ink. accidentally giving you guys a ton of tips today. This is like not at all planned, but yeah, lots of, oh, that's why this one was out. So sponge daubers are a consumable. They do wear out. You can see this one, the sponge itself is like coming off as I brush. So that's why that one was sitting out. Interesting. Okay. I do have more, but they're kind of tucked away. So I'm just going to grab my next closest green. It looks like it might also be suffering. Some of these sponge daubers are like 20 years old. Yeah, that one's also suffering. All right, let's see. One last attempt at a green. And then I might have to go open a new packet. Okay, no, that one's working. There we go. All right, so I'm just doing, oops. Let's do this over my tabletop. So what I'm doing isn't the reason this is falling apart. This is falling apart because it's a really old sponge dauber. So it is definitely time to replace these. All right, let's clean that up. Okay, so using a sponge dauber, just going to add a little bit of color to the edge. Now, if you don't have sponge daubers, or you have them but they're super old like mine are, your other option, you just have to be a little bit more careful, is to grab a blending brush. Let's see, there's a blending brush. And we can use our blending brush to add a little bit of color to the edge as well. You just have to be a little bit softer about how you're applying it. Okay. There. All right, so that just is going to let that pop out a little bit. And actually, I'm going to even give it a little bit more color. Actually, since we're using our blending brush anyways, you can come in and just very slightly come over the edges and give it a little green edging here. I don't have a green small brush, otherwise I would probably use that for just a little bit more control, but that's okay. Got my big one, we're making it work. All right, oh, that's cute. Okay, I like that. All right, so we've just added a little bit of green to the edge there, so that's a little bit fancied up. And then we are going to grab our real red. Oh, I already grabbed it. And there we go. And we're going to grab the heart from this stamp set. Pop it on a block. There we go. And I'm going to grab another piece of scrap paper. And I'm going to stamp a few real red hearts. Now, I am going to stamp these in Versamark first for two reasons. The Versamark is going to somewhat protect my heart, but I'm also going to use it to stamp a few hearts. Versamark on the green. That one didn't show up as well as I had wanted it to. Let's see if I can re-stamp that without ruining it. There we go. Oh, much better. All right. There. And just a few more here. Do a little tip up there. And a little heart coming in from the side there. All right, so I've just done a few Versamark hearts on my background. Now that Versamark is going to protect my stamped image or my stamp a little bit so the red doesn't totally stick and stain. And you use a paintbrush sometimes. Oh yeah. And then I am going to take my real red here and stamp my hearts. And I'm going to do 3. I might not use all 3. We'll see. I might just use 1 actually. But at least this way I've got some options. All right, so I've stamped my little heart there. And we're going to give these a little fussy cut. These are pretty quick and easy to cut out. And then we'll attach everything to our card front. There we go. All right, around and around we go. Okay, and I am leaving a white border on these. You don't have to. You cut even closer and skip the border. But I like having a little white border, especially with our white label and everything. Just allows it to all kind of tie together. All right, around and around. And one last one. I do kind of like doing the 3s, and I think I'm going to skip any other embellishment on this card. So this really is my image and my embellishment. And there we go. Grab whatever's handy. Yep, that's right. All right, and then we'll add some hearts onto here. And let's see. You know what? I think I might have been right when I thought just the 1. Yeah. Because I think 2 makes it feel too heavy. Yeah, we're just going to go with 1, and I've got 2 extra hearts for something else. All right, so I'm going to attach both of these with dimensionals, and I put those over here. There we go. This oval I always find a little bit weird to put dimensionals on. 4 seems like too much, but 3 seems like too few. So I always end up going with the 4 and a little bit of overkill. That's okay. All right, and we're going to pop our thank you on right over here. And then my little heart over here. Now, it's a bit of a strange one because it's almost more of a straight line. So I'm actually going to come in and cut up some of the border on my dimensionals and use that instead of like an actual dimensional. All right, so I kind of have that kind of straight piece there. Oops. We're going to attach to that long side of the heart. There we go. And then that, I'm going to pop on just like that. And I put it until I felt the dimensional hit the edge of the oval. And you know what? I might actually add a few. I wasn't going to, but I think I'm going to grab those pearls back and add a few little pearls to this. All right. And so just like, oops. Come on, get off my finger. There we go. Just like that. Just a few little pearls on that one as well. All right, so that is our second fruit salad card. These are really, really simple cards, easy to recreate. And then on the inside of my card, I'm just going to take 2 little DSP strips and put them on my white as well when I put them in here. Oh, the Valentine's cards. Oh, so nice. Yes, just tiny little embellishments, nothing too much. All right, so that's my second card for today. And then my third card, we're going to go a little bit wilder. with our choices of DSP. Oh no, where did I put my stack of DSP though? Oh, there it is. I'm like, it can't have gone far. I didn't really move. I want to kind of embrace more the fruitiness of our fruit salad DSP. So I think we're going to, for our last card here, we're going to have some fun. And where did it go? Where's that very fruity one? Of course. All right, so let's see. We've got our oranges. That's a cut up piece of the super fruity one. There we go. There's our super fruity fruit salad. All right. Oh, and I like the green on the other side. Nice. All right. So for this last one, I think that we're going to need, what color are we going to need for this one? Let's go with, let's see. I've done a lot of red and green, red and blue, but some yellow. Let's grab a Daffodil Delight card base for this one. So for this one, I am actually going to score and cut it a little bit differently. I am going to score it at 5.5 and cut it at, 5.5 for scoring, cutting it at 4.25. And then I'm also going to do a little trimming. Here we go. So I took my piece, I scored it at 5.5 and cut it at 4.25. So I've got 4.25 by 11. And then I cut off a 2 3/4 inch piece off of my front flap. And there I go using my thumb again. Don't do that. All right. So now my card base, this is like my go-to card base. We're going to be able to create a little card that goes like this. Oh, awesome, Evelyn. That is why I do these, so that you guys can copy and steal everything, right? So I'm actually I'm not sure that's the one I want now. Huh. I was pretty sure I wanted that really wild, fruity one, but now that I see it with the yellow, I'm not sure it's going to work. You know what? I think we might have to go with the oranges. Oh, that's super fun. Or like that. Ooh, let's go like that. All right, so we're going to cut this at 2.5 and have some crazy fun orange pattern on there instead of crazy fruit. I think the colors are just going to go a little bit better. So I'm going to cut this at 2.5 by 4. Or you could do your 4-inch cut first, but I'm going to do 2.5 by 4. And that is my piece that I'm going to use there. All right. So this piece is going to get glued down to our card front right there. It's just a really nice big burst of color on this card. All right. So these are colors that I don't play with a lot. I'm not really a big red, orange, and yellow fan. But in this DSP, there is a lot of yellow. So I am learning to embrace it. Okay, so with that done, I am now going to grab a piece of basic white, and this basic white is going to go inside this card like that. This one, I didn't put in the basic white in my other 2 cards, even though I will later. This one actually really needs it. All right, just like that. Voila. Okay, there we go. now we're going to do, we're going to need a little 2.5 by 4 inch piece of basic white for our front piece here. And we're going to do some stamping. So let's just see, I have got a 2.5 by 4. So there we go. So our 2.5 by 4 inch piece is going to fit right on there. And we're going to stamp this a little bit before we start putting everything together. So I'm going to grab my color wheel one more time. I do love using my color wheel to make some decisions. Sometimes your DSP can really help you out. Sometimes this color wheel is the thing. So we've got Pumpkin Pie and Daffodil Delight already. Now, if we look at this, we can use our analogous and see, okay, Daffodil Delight, Pumpkin Pie. We could bring in like a Flirty Flamingo or a Calypso Coral. Oh, I love Calypso Coral. That might be the one. But we can also run it the other way. And, ooh, we could bring in some Lemon Lime Twist, which would be a really nice, fun switch up on things. So that is something we could do. The other thing that we could do is, you can see here, Pumpkin Pie and Daffodil Delight are just outside of our Pecan Pie and Crushed Curry, and so complementary. If I just go just slightly outside, we've got Night of Navy and Balmy Blue that we could incorporate as well. You don't have to stick entirely into these boxes that they're using. So complementary, or will this work at all with triadic? Nope. It's not going to be triadic at all. All right. So I think we're best off going back to our analogous and either that Flirty Flamingo Calypso Coral or our Lemon Lime Granny Apple. So let's just pull in some colors here. And then I always like to kind of look at them myself. So Flirty Flamingo or Calypso Coral, kind of really staying almost monochromatic. Or we've got Lemon Lime Twist and what did they say, Granny Apple, which I don't have on my shelf right now. So I'm actually leaning towards going both ends and doing a little bit of Lemon Lime Twist with Calypso Coral, those two together. So that's going to be kind of an interesting little twist on everything. Now, for my sentiment itself, ooh, what to do. I want my sentiment to kind of pop. So I think violet colors you first. Yeah, I know. Sometimes it's hard when you're working with colors you don't totally love. All right, so in here, I am thinking that I might actually go grab my Granny Apple Green and pull it in to do my sentiment. My other option is kind of the Pecan Pie. I don't want to go black because it's going to be too dark. So I'm going to go grab my Granny Apple Green. It's tucked away in a bin for an upcoming card class. Ooh, or we could do embossed. Oh, do we want to do an embossed sentiment? No, we're not going to go that crazy today. All right, so I'm going to grab my Granny Apple Green and my happy birthday sentiment. So you can see why I wanted it to be a little bit darker, because it's going to be my sentiment and really stand out on this card. All right, so we're going to stamp my happy birthday right in the middle of this. I'm not going to be cutting this out, so hopefully that was straight. That was not straight, nor was it inked up very well. All right. Luckily, we can do a take two. And really ink that nicely and actually stamp it straight this time. Hopefully. You know what? I've got to turn it sideways. That's going to be my best bet for getting this straight. All right, I think that's it. Not bad. All right. Not as dark as I'd like it to be, but it's good enough. All right, so it looks like I need to re-ink my happy birthday before I put that back out into my bin. All right, so with that stamped, this is going to go on here and onto there. And we're just going to glue those two pieces together. And then I'm going to create a few little cupcakes to decorate this. Now I have a fun little way to decorate our cupcakes. I think you guys are going to like. All right, here we go. So that. And then this piece is actually going to go on with dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my dimensionals again. So this is how I want it going on. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to put a dimensional on each corner. Then I'm going to slide it over and put a dimensional right there. That's going to ensure that all my dimensionals get covered up and everything stays centered and no cards get glued shut. Okay, and then that gets centered. And voila, that's just attached to the one side. All right, now we are, oh, thanks, Evelyn. Now we're going to find our cute little cupcake, and we're going to ink it up. So lots of ways you can ink this up. You can ink it up with your felt pens. You can ink it up in like just do a whole color, or you can ink it up the way I'm going to, which is like half and half. All right, so I think I'm going to do Calypso Coral tops and Lemon Lime Twist bottoms. And so we're going to come in, and I'm just putting the top of my cupcake into my Calypso Coral ink. There we go. And then I'm going to just put the bottom of my cupcake into my Lemon Lime Twist. So this is where having this on a small block is really key, because that's what's going to allow you that flexibility in getting in there and inking that up nicely. All right, so now that I've done that, I'm not sure I like those colors. So we might alter that a little bit. That Lemon Lime Twist isn't really working for me. So let's see. I had originally said no to Flirty Flamingo, but let's see what that looks like. We'll stamp a few and then we'll pick our favorites. Now, if doing that whole little like two-tone inking is not your thing, here is another really quick and easy way to do it. It does require a little bit of fussy cutting. We're going to stamp our whole image in one color. We're going to fussy cut that, and then we'll just fussy cut out either our top or our bottom, your choice, and glue it over top. I like it when you showed us how to use DSP to cut out the cupcake liner. Yeah, that is a really nice way to do it as well. And so this one's a little bit different because it's a solid image, is a little bit harder to do that kind of a thing. But for this one, we can still do the stamping and then do it. I do like the pink and the Calypso Coral. You know what? Actually, I think I know what we're going to do. We're going to do something completely different. Actually, I don't have to cut that one off. I am going to stamp two more cupcakes, another Flirty Flamingo, and one Calypso Coral. And I know I had said we weren't going to do any embossing today, but I think we actually might. Oh, I really actually don't like that Calypso Coral. It's too bright. Let's try a Lemon Lime Twist top. So let's clean this up. The joy of stamping is that we can just stamp to our heart's content, use what we want, leave the rest behind, and it's all good. All right, just like that. Okay, I think that's what we're going to do. I'm happy with that. All right, so I am going to clean my cupcake one more time, and I'm going to show you. This is kind of a little sneak peek of a card I have coming out on Friday. Well, not the actual card, but a technique that I'm doing in that card. I'm going to show you a fun way to make these cupcakes really, really awesome. So now that I've stamped these, I'm going to actually go over them all with my embossing buddy. And then I'm going to take my very cleaned off cupcake here. And I am going to ink up as much as I can, just the bottom with some Versamark. And then I am going to stamp over top of my cupcake bottom again in my Versamark. And then I'm going to grab some gold powder and run my gold powder over top of that. So I have a little bit more gold powder on here than I would like. I am just going to brush off the excess, like where I don't want the gold. So up here on the top where it kind of stuck a bit, I'm just going to brush that off. And I now have a gold bottomed cupcake to emboss. Yeah, that's exactly what I want. Okay, so I am going to do that 2 more times. I think just with my pink and green cupcakes, but we'll see. We'll see. So for those of you who are still watching, thank you. This is a little bit longer than my normal videos, but I'm moving a little bit slower, and I also came in with no plan except for the materials I wanted to put together. So I think we're doing pretty good here. All right, now I'm going to see if I can get all of these stamped at once. Oh, I wasn't going to do the clips of coral. Oh, well. Too late now. All right. Okay, so all of those have Versamark on them now. Now let's run them all through my gold embossing powder. Okay, and then we'll brush off. Oh, that one didn't get, maybe I just didn't let the gold run all the way to it. Nope, I didn't stamp it properly. Huh. Okay, well, we'll go back and fix that after. Okay, so just being very careful here with our brush, taking off the gold where we don't want it. And then I'll show you guys how to go back in and add gold where we do want it, because I did not get one of my cupcakes exactly how I wanted it. All right, so I'm going to heat these first before I go and try and add any gold. Okay, so there we go. So now you can see on this pink cupcake, maybe you can't see, I didn't get it everywhere that I wanted it. So what I'm going to do is I've actually got a Versamark marker, and I'm going to come back in with my Versamark marker and color the spot I want my gold powder in. And then, now unfortunately those are not sold by Stampin' Up. And then I'm going to come in and add some more gold powder, and then I can reheat that. So just a handy little tool for doing small spots. There we go. Good as new. You'd never know I didn't get that done the way I wanted it. All right, so with those gold bottom cupcakes done, I am going to start with the 3 that I think I want, and we'll see how it looks. So then we're just going to come in and quickly fussy cut these. Yes, I do love hanging out over YouTube as well. It's super fun chatting with people. I love it when people pop onto my videos and chat and share their stories and everything. Creative retreat in French. Oh, c'est très bien. I actually should do more of that because I don't get a ton of opportunities to practice my French. I have just a few friends who speak French, who I try to converse with, but I don't get a ton of opportunity. So that's a great idea to watch a retreat in French. Evelyn, you must know so many languages. Is it 3, or do you actually speak like even more? Languages just absolutely fascinate me. I love learning new languages. And recently I've gotten Noah involved as well. He's been doing Duolingo to learn German, actually, which I thought was an interesting choice since his family's Portuguese and he doesn't speak Portuguese, but he chose German. But you know what? Any language learning is a good thing. All right, so there's my cute little cupcakes all cut out. Now let's see. Yeah, I love using Duolingo. It doesn't get you the practical practice, although now if you, I guess, pay for like the Duolingo Max, you could. It has the little video call stuff, but all right, let's actually just do 1 down there and 2 up here. All right, and we're going to add in our little cupcakes because I don't think, no, I don't want my dark one. Okay, so we're going to do our pink and our green cupcakes on here with our little gold bottoms, and then we're going to add some gems. So I'm going to pop these on with dimensionals as well. And there we go. 1 down there and 2 up here. There we go. There we go. Just like that. And then I think we'll add, no. All right, we're going to see if we can peel this guy. We can, good. All right, want him up just a little bit higher and over a little bit more. There we go. All right, and then we'll add some extra gems to this one. So I don't think the white's gonna work on this one. Oh oui, on pourrait parler en français ici. Oh, vraiment? Your English is so good, though. That's amazing. Wow. All right, so we're going to add some gems to this, I think, though, because we're not going to do white on this one. I think I'm going to grab my rainbow adhesive backbox because we've got a few color options in here, including some oranges, pinks, yellows, greens, and we're going to have a little bit of rainbow fun adding our dots, and we can even add our dots off of the front because our back doesn't get covered up. Now these aren't quite the right colors, but they're close enough and they're kind of muted and fun. All right, so I'm going to add 3 here, like actually off. Now if you don't push them down, they tend not to stick too well, so you can actually move them around a little bit. And then once you're happy with them, we pop them, like actually push them down. All right, so I think up here we're going to do a little yellow. Oh, come on, don't stick to me. Up here we're going to do a little yellow, and let's see, maybe pool party. No, the pool party doesn't match. Okay, we're going to stick to the pink, yellow, and orange. All right, so we're going to do a little pink and maybe a little orange, all 3 together. Oops, not like that though, just a little trio right here. All right, so I've just added a few little gems on here, keeping in this diagonal. I know these are kind of emptier spaces, but just kind of keeping the diagonal. I'm going to swap out that little yellow for a big yellow, just to kind of change it up. There we go. And just a little bit of fun on there in terms of color. So those were our rainbow adhesive back dots. And I just, yeah, I kind of like that for our color. And that is our 3rd card. So it's got a little bit of glitter on there with that gold, and then the fun little orange paper, and just a fun little fold. So I'm going to bring the 3 cards back in that we created today. There we go. And this is using our Fruit Salad Designer Series paper paired up with the With You in Mind stamp set from the mini catalog. So just quick, simple cards. I know these took me a while to create, but I'm moving pretty slow these days. Yeah, so that is it. I hope you guys have a great time playing around with this paper and recreating things. I can see that my camera still isn't working on the other end, so I won't be able to flip back to my face. And Kim and Evelyn, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. And anybody else who's watching the replay, thank you so much. Oh, the different languages. Yeah. You know what? Languages and kids, it's so interesting. It's the reason I've started to learn Spanish is there's a few kids who have really had a tough time transitioning into Canada who have come to our school who speak Spanish, and it's really nice to be able to pick up a few words, make them feel a little bit at home, and help them out in that way. Oh, I'm glad you like all the cards, Evelyn. And if you've got these products, I hope you make them and enjoy them. Oddly enough, I think that this thank you, the watermelon thank you, is my favorite of the 3. I do like them all, but that watermelon thank you, it's quick, it's simple, and I don't know, it reminds me of summer, and I need summer so badly. The snow is beautiful here, but it is cold. All right, you guys have a wonderful week. I'm hoping that next week I will have the energy for an actual card class to go, especially as we're approaching the end of Sale-a-bration. I'd like to get one more in before Sale-a-bration's over. Oh, thank you so much, Evelyn. Yeah, my recovery is going much better now. And I've been able to get up and about and out of my bedroom, so that's nice. All right. Thank you, guys. Au revoir. And we'll see you next week. Bye.